So they put all that on top of the Islamic gown. Then, another thing that I showed them was our Muslim sisters, they think that they are subjugated, they are in prison, etc. Then I said, okay, let me show them what some of the Muslim girls or sisters are doing in the world. And it just so happened I went on, I did a Google search on sport. And under sport I found, and I showed them the pictures of 5 or 6 ladies from different parts of the world who have taken part or are taking part in the coming Olympic Games. So you can imagine, now in America, you might have come across, there is a sister, I forget the first name, her second name, her surname is Muhammad. She is she's a black American, Afro-American, and in hijab, she's going to be taking part in fencing. The first fencer in the world to take part in hijab. I showed photograph of another sister from Pakistan. She's a weightlifter, international weightlifter in hijab. And to my surprise, and I even told them, she's got a PhD in IT, doctorate in IT, going across around the world. So I gave a few of those examples. Now their eyes opened up. All these things about women are being subjugated and their husbands are forcing them to cover themselves and all that. See, brothers, you have to do research. You have to know your audience. So I was only able to do that. So I had 2 presentations, and I prepared a specific presentation for them on Islam. And then when the other brother came and he was presenting on South African law, and during the break, he asked them, like, how's it? He said, wow, the Islamic law side about Muslim was fascinating. We never knew about these things. Then one brother, I was expecting this question, he said, yeah, but like Islam is such a peaceful religion, what about all the suicide bombers around? I said, no, that's extremism. Islam is a middle course. There's no extreme on this side, no extreme on that side. And the same for your Christianity and your Judaism. Isn't that so? It's a middle path? They said, yes. And then when I showed them the demographics of Muslims in the world, 1.8 billion approximately Muslims in the world, 1 in 4. So the white lady who asked me this question about suicide bombing, said, wow, if there's 1.8 billion Muslims in the world and Muslims are terrorists, what's going to happen to everyone else in the world? But that's not happening. See, that's why, brothers and sisters, this opportunity you've got, da'wah, make the most of it. You'll have the theory, you'll do your own studying, your own research, you get lots of information. But one thing you need to know is to become good speakers. Forget about, I can't emulate Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, or I can't emulate the Sheikh who's giving your lectures here and all that. Forget about that. Every one of us have got talents. And within our capabilities, we must expose our talents. Okay? So, show of hands. Ask questions. The more you question, so you can start off your talk by asking a question. When you ask a question, again, you get the people thinking. Okay? Humor. Add humor in your talk. What does humor do? If you crack jokes, are there any advantages of having some humor in your talks? What does it do? It makes the audience calm down. Okay, that's one. What else? It keeps them awake. Yes, because if you give one humorous story, then what are you waiting for? Another one, right? And then what else? What are some of the advantages? Sorry? It? Okay, get them to concentrate. Also, if it's a heavy topic and you want to lighten it, then you add humor. Also, when you're starting off, you're also nervous. You're nervous and the audience is nervous. So one way of overcoming your own nervousness, if you say something that is humorous, you hear them laughing and then you relax yourself. Okay. And you arouse suspense. In fact, when I was writing this book, I came across this story and I thought I'll just share it with you. Suspense you can arouse in many ways. Sylvester Stallone, you all know Sylvester Stallone? Rocky, Rambo? See, the youngsters are laughing there. Yeah, they know about it. So, what did he say? He took part, or he directed, or acted in about 60 films. And he said, what have I learned? The hardest thing in filmmaking is to get the people in the audience to sit still for 10 minutes. The key is that you need to start off with a human conflict in the first 6 minutes to get the audience behind the story. Let them see what the character does in his emotional life. grabbing the attention. See, the suspense. If you're watching movies or even if you're reading a book, normally you'll see all the action is in the first few minutes. If you're watching a movie, where's the action? In the first few minutes, grabbing the attention. Okay. Now, just bear in mind, don't waste time with unnecessary introductions. Prophet ﷺ, when he spoke, he never wasted time with unnecessary introductions. He got into the topic immediately. Okay? Oh, I'm so happy to be here and good to see you all. And I thank the organizers and etc. 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 You know, it's nice and weather outside today. Alhamdulillah, not raining, etc. No one wants to hear all that. You already put them to sleep. Isn't that so? They don't want to hear that. You just get into your talk. Okay? Now the middle, very quickly, like a sandwich. You have the top slice and the bottom slice. The top slice is your introduction. The bottom slice is your ending. In the middle is where you have all your meat, your facts, your figures, your statistics. Right, your substance going there. Include items that will be of interest to the audience. So this is where that you must be thinking, now why should I spend 1 hour for every minute? You must research your topic. No matter what topic it is. Even one of the brothers said, the youngsters don't want to come inside because the topic is the same. Even if you give the same topic, but you give different facts, different perspective, different angle, it will still become interesting. When you're talking of Islam, topic is the same, isn't it so? What's in the Quran and what's the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? It's all there. But the way you approach it is different, right? So try and dig up as much information as possible on your topic. The more information you dig up and you provide to them, they say, hey, this Imam here, he knows his stuff. He's respecting us by going and doing his own research. Isn't that so? How many of you, when you go to a talk sometime and the Maulana gives the same old talk again, how you feel? Don't you feel like you've really wasted your time? And he's wasted your time? Now imagine if you are the Imam. Ask yourself, if you are the Imam, and this is the same talk you've been giving for the past 10, 15 years, going to different mosques, giving the same talk, sometimes even the same mosque, after even say Laylatul Miraj, or even the talks that you have to give at certain times of the year, you don't have to give the same talk. You give it from different angles. Right, and to fill it with anecdotes, Quranic verses and hadith of the Prophet, there's so much of information that you can fill it. Okay, and then let's conclude on this. Then we'll talk about overcoming your fear, and we'll have some time then for some demonstrations. Okay, now the end. To conclude the topic. Again, I told you, in the beginning, you've got their attention. At the end, now it's coming to an end, so they want to know what you're going to say. So in the middle, that is why it's always advisable to write out your speech. When you've written out your speech and you're looking at it, now have I got a beginning, middle, and end? Have I got a tell formula? Am I telling them there? Am I summarizing at the bottom? Now in the middle of your speech, when you lose your audience attention, now you must grab their attention. So how are you going to grab their attention? Again, all the things that we've discussed. Ask them questions, give them anecdotes, humor, right? So all the things that we've discussed. So when you have written out your speech and you know you're going to be losing your audience, that is where you need to grab their attention. Now I'm losing you all. All of you all stand up, please. All of you all stand up, please. Right, I want you all to take a deep breath. Breathe deeply through your nostrils. Keep the air in your lungs. Expand your rib cage. And breathe out through your mouth. Right, let's start. Deep breath. Keep the air in your lungs. Breathe out through your mouth. Make that sound. Breathe in. Keep the air in your lung. Exhale. One more time. Raise, stretch your hands out in front and clasp your hands like this. Right, just the fingers between your fingers. Right, clasp it. Try and go out front as far as possible. in front first, as far as possible in front. Right. Now go to your left. Some people left are to the right. Okay. See, you people, I've lost you all. That's why I'm trying to wake you all up. Right, go to your right. As far back as possible. Go up. Still holding it like that. Go as far back as possible. Don't fall. Far back. Right, now go to the front. Right down. As low as you can get. As low as you can get. Onto the floor. Right, let's come up. Let's come up. Let's come up. Let's come up. Okay, take a seat, please. Okay, are you awake now? You're awake now. Okay, so that's what you can do that also. If you're giving a talk, maybe in a school or a presentation you're doing, and you see that the people are falling asleep, then you can do that. Okay. Now, concluding the topic. Referring back to the opening, so you summarize again that tell formula. Now you tell them what you've told them. You summarize it for them. Using a quotation. Again, you could use a quotation as I mentioned earlier. You can ask a question. Right, so now you've got a structure. You've got the opening, grab the attention, right? And then in the middle, that's where you've got all your facts, your figures, your statistics, etc. If you're going to be losing them, then add something humorous, show of hands, ask questions, etc. You have to do this, otherwise you're going to lose them. What is the attention span of people today? 30 seconds. So all the time you need to be doing something different, something different. Therefore you'll notice, am I standing one place when I'm speaking to you? Now imagine if I was standing here for 30 minutes with my hands folded and in one monotone I'm speaking to you. I'll lose you. Right? So you notice I'm here. When I finish saying something, then I go there. If I'm asking a question, I might go there. So when I go to the back, those people say, hey, he's paying attention to me. Right? And what's happening also, your attention is here. Then when I go there, then your attention moves to me. Okay. And then finally, you have to tell the audience what to do. The punchline. You must go home with a message. When Yusuf Islam, the talk he heard, so that Imam must have said, okay, now there's a need in the world, there's a need here in UK for an Islamic school. Right? How many of us are going to do something about it? Maybe he might have said something like that, right? And then he picked up his hand. So you have to get them to do something, have to get them to take action. So that's your punchline. Okay. So what have we finished? We finished introduction, then we finished preparing the presentation. Now we're not going to go on to chapters 2, 3. We're going to go on to chapter 4. And that is nervousness, overcoming nervousness. So, surveys have been carried out internationally regarding what is the greatest fear people have. So these are two of the surveys that I've been able to get my hands on. And in both these surveys, what do you think came out as number one fear of people in the world? Number one fear. Standing in front of people. Poverty, making mistakes. What's the number one fear? Criticism. Number one fear in both these surveys, public speaking. Death came to number 6. The fear of death. Okay, let's think about it. How many of us are thinking of death? How many of us are fearful of death? But if I were to tell you, now soon we're going to be doing demonstrations, right? The brother got his head down already. So, if I were to tell you to come forward and say something how will you feel? Very nervous, isn't it so? Huh? You'll think twice. Okay, so the greatest fear that people have is death. One. Now, either you can fight it or you can flight. Fight it means you stand there, whatever happens, I'm going to go for it. Or flight is you run. Right? One of the two. So you must decide. Especially if you're a da'i, there's only one way. You have to fight it. What are some of the reasons why people are nervous? What are some of the reasons? Low self-esteem, yes. No confidence, yes. No? Knowledge, okay. The type of audience, yes, sometimes maybe your ustad, your teacher, your principal, your professor is there, and you're scared that they know more than you. What are some of the reasons, sisters, why you might be nervous? Sorry? When you have less information, not prepared, yes? Sometimes it's a phobia, you just got that fear. Right? Anyone else? Sisters in the back? Criticism, correct. You're scared of people criticizing you. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why people are fearful. What about being stared at? How many of you don't like people to be looking at you? Right. So therefore, I notice when we give these talks, we give the talk at all the Darul Ulooms also, and for the different Jamiats. So when we ask the Maulanas, especially in KZN, there seems to be a practice, even the young Imams, when they're giving the Jummah talk, they're sitting down, either sitting on the chair or sitting on a mimbar. In other provinces, it's not so rife. But here, so I ask them, why are you sitting down? Or because there's a chair there, that's why I'm sitting down. Or because we are scared, because we are anxious, we are nervous, that's why we're sitting down. Right? So, fear of being stared at, that's one of the reasons. Yes, brother? Yeah, they're looking, your brother said, looking at you like you were a rogue and you came to the house and stole something. Okay. Right. So, fear of failure, fear of rejection, the message might be rejected, fear of the unknown. You don't know, will it be accepted, won't it be accepted, etc. So, now you must remember, everyone has got butterflies in their stomachs before they speak. No matter how experienced you are, everyone's got butterflies. So what you do, all we're trying to teach you, we're not trying to get rid of the butterflies. It's good to have some butterflies in your stomach when you speak, and I'll tell you why. So what we teach you is that you must try and make the butterflies fly in formation. That's what you must do. Make the butterflies fly in formation. So, in other words, what I am saying is that everyone is nervous. You want to look? Everyone is nervous, without doubt. No matter how experienced. So sometimes you see the experienced speakers, even when they're giving a talk, before they give a talk in that hall, they'll be walking up and down. Right? That's a fact. They'll be walking up and down, or in the corridors, or they'll go outside and get some fresh air. Right? So, I'll give you some. We put them down as P's in the 2-day or 1-day workshop. You got about 18 P's. Right? So, one of them, before you talk, make dua. And there's duas also. I'll show you one or two. And there's in the book, there's about 4 or 5 duas of the Prophet ﷺ and the Holy Quran as well that must be read before you give a talk. Secondly, be punctual. Okay, when I came and stood here, did I speak immediately or did you see me standing, my lips moving slightly before I commenced speaking? Did you notice that? What was I doing? First day I was standing there just to get calm, collected, and I was making dua. You have to make dua. 2 rakat salah you can read, nafil salah before your talk, or also just before you give your talk. Be punctual. Arrive earlier than on time. Always try and be before the time of the speech. Right? The earlier you get, then if there's any hiccups with the equipment, if the setup is not to your liking, then you need to change it, right? If there's sometimes there's a podium or there's a lectern in front and you don't use lecterns, so instead of you moving around the furniture, it's not your job. You tell the organizers, they will move it. The equipment, the cords, are they in your way? What type of mic you're using? These are all the things that you become aware of before you talk. Now, I've been here a few times. In the last 6 months, the second presentation I'm making, so I know the setup, more or less, and I know the organizers, I know how they organize. But especially when you're going to a place for the first time, make sure you go early. Because when you go late, what happens? Automatically, what happens? Huh? Right, you're running around, you're perspiring, audience is waiting, and then it makes you even more nervous. Portray an air of confidence. You must portray an air of confidence. So, when you're going to be doing your demonstrations, what I want you all to do is I'm going to be requiring you all to stand like how you make the position when you are making salah. Your feet are slightly apart, about say 5 fingers apart, and the ladies, their right foot will be slightly in front of the left foot, and then you must have your head with the chin up. We'll demonstrate it together just now. Have your chin up, right? Take a couple of deep breaths. The breathing that I showed you, not the shallow breathing that we normally do. The deep breathing. You breathe a couple of times. Read whatever dua you want to read. Give a smile. Have a nice smile on your face. Not too big from there to there. Have a nice smile. I'm happy that I'm here and I'm happy that you're here. Right? And then you commence. So you are in control. Right? So, and you must portray an air of confidence. If you are nervous, people don't know you're nervous. So why show it to them? Why show them? Why fidget around and do all funny things and then start talking immediately without even calming yourself? So that is why portray an air of confidence. Pace. Speak deliberately, speak slowly. How did Rasulullah speak? Slowly, not too fast, not too slow. People who are nervous normally speak very fast. Thank you very much. Right. People who are nervous. And why do they want to sit down quickly? Because they just want to get away. Right? So when you're speaking, now that's what I say. If you learn the art of speaking, then you become conscious of your own speech. As you're speaking, then you think, no, I'm going too fast. Let me go slower here. I'm losing the audience. Let me add something here. Let me get something humorous. You become self-aware, right? So, you need to speak slowly, clearly, deliberately. Practice. The pain is in the training and the glory is in the race. Where's the pain? The pain is, what did Muhammad Ali say? One of the things he stated was, I used to hate training. I used to hate. When I used to train in the gym, I used to hate it. But I knew if I put in the work now, the hard yards now, I'll be remembered as a champion for the rest of my life. Isn't that what happened? Right, so when did he do all the work? So when's the pain? The pain is in the training. Glory is in the race. Pause. Pause deliberately to capture attention and to take charge. Very, very powerful. You must pause when you speak. Okay, I am speaking to you. I don't say anything. I pause. I look around. So when I'm doing that, what happens to you as the audience? What happens to your attention? Now you don't know what I want to say next. Isn't it so? You know what I want to say next. So pausing is very powerful. So even when you're starting, even when you're beginning, you can. That's why you don't just come here and start speaking. So one of the things that you saw me doing, came, did all the other things, and paused. When you pause, it shows that you are in control. It shows that you are in control. Because for 30 seconds is quite long. You saw how long that was. About 10, 15 seconds if I just pause. Look around. Right? So it shows you are in control. Right? And when you pause, then it calms you down. And you have to prepare. Always be prepared. Because what are 2 or 3 of you stated? You're not prepared. You're not confident of yourself. So if you're prepared, then automatically you'll become confident. Okay, some of the du'as. Rabbi zidni ilma. Oh my Rabb, increase me in knowledge. Right, so when you're starting off, that's something that you could read. قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Oh my Rabb, expand for me my chest, ease my task for me, remove the impediment of my speech so they may understand what I say. Musa alayhi salam stated. See, he had a problem with his speech. Something happened when he was young, and therefore he had a problem with speaking. So when he used to speak, he used to make this dua. Now, don't we have the same problems? Don't we want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open up our chest, make our task easy for us, improve our speech, etc.? So that's another one. And I'll give you 2 others. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma ftahni bima allamtani wa allimni ma yanfa'uni zidni ilma. Oh Allah, benefit me with what you have taught me and teach me that which benefit me and increase me in knowledge. So anything, anyone that you can remember. Right, but it's all there in the book, you can have a look at it. Dua for knowledge. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alul hasna sahlan iza shi'ta. Oh Allah, there is no ease except in that which you have made easy, and you make the difficult easy if you wish. So if you're nervous, one of the best things to do, make your duas. Okay, so what are some of the things that we can do to overcome nervousness? Go for a quick walk. Use creative visualization. You must imagine that you are being successful. Don't imagine that you're going to be a failure. Because once you start with negative thoughts, that is what will happen. If you start with positive thoughts, that is what will happen. Then, if you've got a squeeze ball or something, squash ball or something, when you do that, it releases your stress. Okay? Tell yourself nobody's perfect. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Could you die? You can't die. This is not plausible. Nobody's perfect. So ask yourself, when you're nervous, okay, why am I nervous? What's the worst thing that can happen? Find out what you do when you are nervous and eliminate it. So you might find that you are folding your hands, your arms before you're speaking, or you're gritting your